All right, you're all set.
Okay, great. Okay, a big welcome to all of you today. I can see there's already more than 175 people logged in and the numbers keep climbing. So we're very excited to present to you today about the University of Florida. So a couple things going on, and then I'm going to let all of the individuals that are here to talk with you and answer your questions chime in and introduce themselves. So this webinar is for those students that have been admitted to our master's program for any department in the Herbert Wertheim College of Engineering, which does include computer science and data science. This is primarily targeted for students from India, but there's many of you that contacted me that are in different time zones across the US and across the world. So this is certainly open to all of you as well. And we're very happy that you're joining us. The content is the same. It is applicable to all you. There'll just be a little more emphasis on a few additional areas for students from India since we have such a large community. I emailed everybody again yesterday with the link. All of these slides will be available beginning tomorrow morning on our website, as well as the recording of this. I know there's other students that have contacted me that were just unavailable with other busy commitments. So we will have all of those posted and available for you. So do not feel like you need to write down everything from the slides today. And we have lots of individuals. So in the Q&A section, immediately upon doing introductions, I encourage all of you to ask your questions. So we want to make the best use of your time. So you can address your questions to specific individuals. We have individuals across all of our engineering departments so that they can answer. We also have several students here that are current master's students from India across departments. They can answer your questions. So you can ask a general question to everybody, but there's a lot of us, or you can ask them to different individuals. If you forget the individuals' names, then list the question by department, like BME or mechanical or computer science, and then that will help to get your questions answered. The last area I wanted to mention was that this webinar is for those that have been admitted to masters, but we also invited a few other 100 of you who have not yet received your official admission. So you are in the final stages of that. Your application has been reviewed. We do find that you're qualified academically to be admissions, but there's one or two final steps with our Office of Admissions or our graduate school or somewhere in the processing along the way. So we did not want to leave you out. And if you want specific updates on that, you can ask that from your graduate staff department rep. They're probably not going to be able to look that up right now in this webinar, but they'll certainly be able to correspond with you after. So let's get going with introductions. I'll share my screen. I see that there's now more than 250 people that have logged in. So we're very happy to be here with you today. So the first one is Associate Dean Toshi Nishida. He's actually triple booked right now. So he's in some other events. He's oversees academic affairs as well as a professor of electrical and computer engineering. He may be able to join at some point in this, but I know he's booked right now. So my name is Mike Nazareth. I've emailed all of you many a times over this year and maybe even several years. I've probably met some of you as well, maybe out on recruiting events. And I work with recruiting all of the new master's and PhD students across our college.
Hi, I'm Ashley Wilson. I'm the coordinator for graduate recruitment, and I work with Mike Nazareth on helping to bring in the MS and PhD students.
My name is Martine Angren, Director of F1 International Student Services.
I'm Christina Sapp, and I work with the Computer Science Information Department at UF.
Hi, I'm Julissa Nunez, and I'm the Graduate Admissions Officer for the Electrical and Computer Engineering Department.
Hello, everyone. My name is Krista Smith, and I'm the Graduate Academic Advisor for Biomedical Engineering.
Hello, I'm Sumant Patankar. I'm faculty in chemical engineering and also the master's program coordinator.
Hello, my name is Paula Johns. I'm the academic program specialist for the Engineering School of Sustainable Infrastructure and Environment, SE for short, which houses civil, coastal, and environmental engineering sciences.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jordan Sharpshire, and I'm the graduate academic advisor in the Department of Industrial and Systems Engineering.
Still muted. Hi, I'm Megan McMahon, and I am the graduate admissions specialist for mechanical and aerospace engineering.
Hello, my name is Tahir Franklin. I'm a graduate academic advisor for the Department of Material Science and Engineering and the Nuclear Engineering program.
Okay, and we have several of our current students joining us today. Delora, you there?
Hi, I'm Laura, and I'm a computer science graduate student.
Hello, this is Manish Alluri. I'm also a computer science major at UF, currently graduating in my last semester. Yep.
Hi, I am Gauri, and I am also a current master's student in computer science and engineering.
Hi, I'm Sandeep. I'm studying Masters in Electrical and Computer Engineering.
Hi, I'm Chaitank. I'm currently an EC grad student.
Kartiki, are you there?
Hey, I'm Karthik, and I'm a final semester student from Electrical and Computer Engineering Department in the master's program.
Hey guys, I'm Sajid. I'm a graduate student in the EC department pursuing my PhD degree. I'm also the president of IGSA, so we'll be talking a couple of slides about that. So happy to see you guys turn out today.
Hi everyone, my name is Shweta Zode, and I'm a master student in chemical engineering. Feel free to ask any questions related to accommodation and in general study questions. It's good to see you all here.
Kriti, do you make it today? Okay, Prasan, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hey guys, nice to meet you all. I'm currently pursuing my Master of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering at the MA department at UF.
Okay, so you can see that we really have a large and wonderful group here to chat with you today. I can see there's several hundred of you online and more keep logging in. So this is wonderful. So now is the time. We're going to go over various slides on a lot of information that's important for you. Some of you have already decided that you are coming here to University of Florida for your master's degree and you have accepted your official offer. And some of you are still deciding. So hopefully the presentation today will help to cement that decision for you. Now's the time you can start asking your questions as we're going through these slides and having various speakers. So feel free to ask individual questions on anything you like to the representatives that are here today. So this first slide outlines our community. So you get a sense from that just from the 10 students that are here from India that are representing and speaking to you today. But we have students from all of these institutions, so spread across India every year. And I'm sure we have even from a few more than this because it's challenging to update this every year because we've really put a large recruitment effort forward that started about 4 years ago and tremendously grown the community for students from India here at University of Florida. We are one of the largest public institutions in the entire United States. We have been around more than 150 years. We span thousands of acres and hundreds of buildings, almost 60,000 students. But our focus is not just undergraduate students, which can be the case at some universities in the US. You can see that a good third of the population of our students are graduate students. So from the administration, the faculty, and the courses on down, we really do have a large commitment and focus to master's and PhD students. You can see the numbers there, and we have colleges throughout. Lots of research expenditures, which is what powers the enterprise for funding for top preeminent faculty and facilities and course selection, and funding for graduate students as well. And we do have some lakes. We have some lakes on campus, and we have some lakes a short distance away with free bus rides for all of our students. So we believe that this focus and this college and this emphasis of academics really will transform the future, and that the Herbert Wertheim College of Engineering is helping to drive that here at the University of Florida, and that being an engineer, which includes computer scientists, is a large part of that. So that you can feel comfortable knowing that that's inclusive of the degree and your experience that you would receive here on our campus. We're very large, but we're comprehensive and we're collaborative. It would be very common that if you could have some research that exists in a department in engineering, but then it spreads across multiple departments of engineering, and that faculty that you're working with have appointments in multiple departments and even multiple colleges or schools on our campus. So it spreads across. And we're trying to spread data science and artificial intelligence across the entire campus with the new building in Malachowski Hall, which is nearing completion. We have lots of inventions. I'm sure you've heard of one of the most famous ones, Gatorade. Gatorade was founded right here at the University of Florida many decades ago. We are also very diverse. We not only have students from many, many countries across the world, but from almost all of the states in the United States. And we do very well in different ethnicities and disciplines as well. And we're very proud that we can expand for that for the community of our students. So not only is University of Florida one of the largest public universities in the country, but the Herbert Wertheim College of Engineering is one of the largest colleges of engineering in the United States. Nearly 12,000 students, and those students expand undergrad and graduate. So roughly 2/3 or so, 70% undergraduate students and 30% graduate students in the master's and PhD programs, spanning across all departments, hundreds of faculty, and we've been around more than 100 years. So we have a long-standing tradition here in the United States. We're extremely proud of our rankings. To get to this high level of accolade really is a large commitment from everyone at University of Florida. All of our administrators, all of our faculty, all of our staff, our graduate staff that are answering your questions right now and helping to bring you here to our campus. It's been our goal here for going back many years to move up in the rankings, and we made it to the top 10 in 2018, and then the very next day our president announced a new goal to get into the top 5, and we worked tremendously hard to get there, and now we've stayed it there. So we're all proud of that here, and we think that increases the experience and the caliber of the academics for you if you come here to University of Florida. I'm sure you recognize many of these other top schools that are in the top 10, and we're very happy to be among that status. So all of you are looking at the master's program. So here is a specific breakdown by department of the master students. This is fall enrollment, the exact numbers last August here at University of Florida. So 30% of our college is graduate students, and of those, it's about 2/3 master students and 1/3 PhD students across the departments. For India, you can see that's a large percentage of it, because we have really been all of us working towards bringing more students from India here to University of Florida, as well as other countries, China and many others, Korea, etc. We find these students like yourselves are very talented and contribute a great deal and very hardworking, and we all believe in that, and we like more students to come spread across disciplines. So you can see how that spans on this slide here. We have a lot of buildings for you. You'll be walking around a little bit on our large campus. More than 60 buildings comprise the Herbert Wertheim College of Engineering and Computer Science, spread throughout many blocks. Lots of buildings for teaching, for labs, for faculty offices, for graduate student offices, for graduate student life, etc. There are many, many facilities here. Some of the latest buildings include the Herbert Wertheim Laboratory for Engineering Excellence. This actually opened more than 2 years ago, and the new design of buildings is not necessarily a building for one department or for one major of students, but that it's spread across all majors. So students from any major could certainly, in engineering, certainly have a class in here or a lab or space where they're working on some sort of projects. But the latest one is going to be open soon. And that was powered by a $70 million donation from the CEO and founder of NVIDIA, who is a graduate of University of Florida many years back. And we will house the fastest supercomputer in AI in all of higher education. And you will hear more about the terminology of University of Florida being the home of AI University. And this is not just for those of you in computer science or electrical and computer engineering, but AI is being spread across and embedded in all majors and colleges on the University of Florida campus. So not just engineering, but all majors. And so this state-of-the-art new building, that's a picture from just a couple months ago, scheduled to be open this summer or for the start of fall classes. That has multiple floors, so only 2 of the floors are for engineering, the future home of CISE and ECE, and the other floors are other colleges such as pharmacy and I believe medicine and some others. So everyone can be involved with this in the courses and in the work that you take part here at University of Florida. So I know we have mostly international students online today. There are a few students from the US here, so you have extra areas that you need to work on in your student visas and all the rules and requirements. So we have our time from the International Center here, and she's going to go over those details with you now.
Good day. I was almost going to say good morning, but if you're not in the US and in the East Coast, maybe it's not morning. So yes, my name is Martine Angrand, and I am the F1 director, and we will go ahead and go into our presentation. Glad to be a part of this and glad to know that you have already committed to UF or hopefully are considering UF still. So these are some of the topics that you need to know right offhand. We won't be able to go into every single one of these in full details, but we will touch them throughout. And the QR code here, you'll be able to go to our landing page where you'll be able to click on the different areas which will cover this information. Next slide. So estimated startup cost for the academic year 23-24 is $51,705 for graduate students. If you are provided the Achievement Award, you are only required to show $47,205 for the first academic year. The program may cost more than that, but for the I-20, we are only required to request the first academic year to issue the I-20. So you probably have already received an email from our office regarding your I-20 application process. If you have not, if the department has not submitted it yet, then I'm sure we'll get that whenever it is finalized. If the department has submitted it, please allow about 7 to 10 business days. We usually get it to you faster than that. But yes, we do ask for that amount of time because we are working with over 3,000 possibly incoming international students between the summer and the fall. So you're going to get the email at your account, same email address that you used when you applied to UF. If you have not yet created your GatorLink account, if you have created your GatorLink account and it's been updated in our system, the email might go to that address. So we're asking that you check both your personal email and your GatorLink. Check the inbox and the spam, the junk mail for the email about your I-20 application process. Once you go through all of the questionnaires, if you read everything carefully, pretty much every question is answered within the actual application. So please do read that carefully. Once you upload everything that we need, you'll be able to scroll back to the top and click on Submit Application. There are sections at the bottom which say Save and Submit. But those are to submit each individual questionnaire. We will not receive your application until you scroll back to the top of the entire application and click on Submit Application. That's very important. Some students forget to do that, and then your application is not actually in queue. So please remember to do that. Your F1 advisor is based on your surname. So the first letter of your surname, the advisor assigned to that will be reviewing the applications. If everything is good, they'll issue the I-20. If something is missing, they will contact you by email to let you know that something needs to be clarified. So please make sure that you're checking your emails at least once a day while you're waiting for your I-20 to be processed. Then, once it is processed, we will upload it to the ISSS portal and let you know how to download that. It is important that you actually print it and hand sign it. You cannot digitally sign it. You, as the student, must hand sign it and have it in hand for your visa application. Next slide. After you receive your I-20, you'll then be able to pay the SEVIS fee based on the SEVIS ID number that will be on the I-20 when we issue it to you. Then you'll be able to complete and save the DS-160 visa application form. That visa application form also has its own fee. So there are 2 fees associated with those steps there. We ask that you do keep a copy of your DS-160 because you will need that as part of your check-in later on. Then you'll be able to schedule your visa appointment and hopefully get your visa. Make sure that you have these documents printed and in hand for your visa appointment, along with any other documents that they may state are required. The I-20, admission letter, proof of funds, and your passport. Hopefully your visa is approved. You'll then be able to schedule your flight. You cannot make a flight any earlier. You cannot enter the US any earlier than 30 days prior to the program start date on your I-20. So please make sure not to actually schedule your flight until you have your visa approved and in hand, and then make sure it is within 30 days or less from your program start date. Once you enter the US, you'll then be able to get the final document that you need for your check-in to complete your online check-in and make sure that you register full-time for classes. Arriving in Gainesville, you'll need to keep these same similar documents in hand and your visa. Please make sure not to pack them in your luggage or anything that you cannot access very easily. So you should have those in hand with you, carried at all times. As far as apartments in Gainesville, there are apartments all over. I don't know if you'll be living on campus or off campus. Most apartment places will need the first week of August or so to clean up from the last tenants. So you might want to make sure that you don't arrive probably any earlier than the second week of August, as most of the previous tenants will be vacating around July 31st. Next slide. All right, so our check-in process is fully online. There's no need to come in person anymore. So you have some friends who are in the States that perhaps did their check-in in person, but now it is fully online. So you'll be able to complete that in our ISSS portal. The same system that you use to apply for your I-20 is where you'll do your check-in. All check-in must be completed before the drop-add deadline. Once drop-add is done, we will be making sure that we are reviewing check-in. Actually, from the moment you start doing your check-in, we're reviewing check-in for all incoming around 1,500 or more international students. And we want to be done with those by the drop-add deadline because that is your deadline to get that done also. And also your deadline for registration. So we'll be checking and reviewing your full-time registration at that time. There are some critical dates and deadlines that you need to be aware of, and UF has that printed. This is just a few of the first dates that are at the very beginning. Registration is pretty much going on now. Deadline for regular registration without a late fee, I believe, is actually August 20th. And then classes start on August 23rd. So you must be registered beforehand in order not to have a late fee. And you must be registered full-time by the drop-out deadline in order not to be out of status. Fee payment deadline is September 1st. We do advise that you actually come with enough money to secure your deposit, first and last month's rent, and money enough to pay for your tuition in that first semester, because you likely won't have a bank account in order for you to have all of that completed in time for all of these deadlines. So typically between first and last month's rent, your deposit, setting up your electricity, maybe getting a phone and your internet set up, and paying tuition, you're probably going to need around $15,000 to $20,000 right up front so that you don't have any late fees and so that you can secure all of those necessities. Next slide. All right, so these two things are a lot more than what you see on this slide. All of the information is on our website, but we want to tell you this in advance. And this is regulation at every single school. So you want to make sure that you are aware of these two in particular. Maintaining F1 status includes your full-time registration and also restrictions related to employment. For full-time registration as a graduate student, every fall, every spring, you must be registered for at least 9 credits each semester. Of those 9 credits, 3 can be 100% online. The other 6 must be physical presence courses that you report to the classroom for instruction with a live instructor in the course. Whether that's fully physical presence 100% or even combination hybrid. The summer is not required unless you are admitted in the summer or otherwise are graduating in the summer or have an internship, externship, whatever the title may be for that training experience. That's when registration is required in the summer. Otherwise, the summer is considered your vacation, okay? And employment, every F1 student is allowed to work on the UF campus paid by UF up to 20 hours per week. The standard work week at UF is Friday to Thursday. However, some areas like the dining or the bookstore may have a varied work week. So please make sure to confirm that with the employer before you start so that you know exactly how to calculate input and from what day to start your counting your hours. You cannot work off campus at all without having authorization from our office on your I-20 or from USCIS on your I-20. You're not eligible for off-campus work in your first academic year whatsoever. You become eligible in your second academic year. And then if you are still in your degree program, the authorization is called CPT, Curricular Practical Training, or if you are graduating, the authorization is called OPT, Optional Practical Training. So keep those in mind. There's a lot more detail on our website. Please read those carefully. Next slide. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, your F1 advisor is based on your surname, the first letter of your surname. Scan the QR code, you'll get to the page where we show you exactly who your advisor is and their contact information. They're also available by virtual office hours. So you are able to click on the link for their schedule, and then you'll see the schedule that they actually are available and the link for attending their Zoom time. So more information about the I-20 process is on our website, and you have all the information you should need for the application in the email that you will receive directly. And number one is to make sure that after you upload everything and fill out all the questionnaires, is that you click on Submit Application. Hopefully, we'll get to see you here in Gator Nation.
Okay, thank you so much, Martine. So this is great. This is a lot of valuable and detailed information and just a snippet of it. So you have the rest of our time today, up to an hour, to ask questions online that she can answer. But do stay in touch with the International Center and their team of staff, because I know you have all of these extra requirements as an international students for visas, et cetera, in order to come and enroll at University of Florida. Okay, so what we want to do in this next few minutes is we want to give an opportunity for our department graduate staff to highlight any important areas for you for individual departments. And then we'll also let some of our current graduate students that are online talk after that, after each one. So I showed you the public university rankings before, but there's also rankings, as many of you are aware, for each of the individual disciplines. And we do quite well in those, with virtually all of our programs in the top 20 or even the top 10. So we're going to start off with the largest one for all of you today, which is our computer science and information department. So I'll let Christina Sapp highlight some areas that are important. And then after that, we will ask Delora and Manish to talk about their student experience in that department. Christina?
Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the webinar. It's good to be on here. I'm trying to answer questions as you guys have put in the chat session. One of the biggest things that I've been seeing is two things really. Is one, some of you have been admitted into the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. I emailed everybody this time, first time ever, asking if you wanted to be switched to the College of Engineering so you can get the Achievement Award. So it is done on my part. I'm waiting for the Office of Admissions to complete their part. I actually sent the supervisor a list of you guys to get updated. I told them that we needed to get you registered and get your I-20 in. So we are working on that. I do check it at least once, twice a day to see if it's been done. And as soon as it is, I promise you I'll get it done. And then I'll request your I-20. The other thing is, some of you have been admitted into our department. Here again by us. We're still waiting on the Office of Admissions to complete your review on your end. Keep in mind, the Office of Admissions is responsible to admit the whole University of Florida, not just our department. So while we get our part done, we still have to wait on them. So just be patient. I know you guys are eager. I know that I-20 does take a lengthy time to get done. Just bear with us. Everyone is working super hard on getting you here, getting everything in a timely manner. So those are the two major things for us. We do have a lot of students that we did admit. And so we're excited to have you guys here. And if you have any questions, you can email me. You all know my email address, and or email me on the chat here, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Thank you, Mike.
Great, thank you, Christina. Okay, Delora, would you like to talk about your experience here in CISE department?
Absolutely. So hi, I'm Delora and I'm a graduate student in computer science. So I actually was in my final semester when I applied for UF, and I didn't have my official transcript. So that was something that was really helpful because a lot of other colleges wanted me to provide my official transcript, but I could come here and submit them in person. So even if you don't have an official, it's fine. You can submit an unofficial one. So I just wanted to say that because I saw a lot of people asking questions regarding that. So one thing I would say for the CIC department is that we do a lot of courses, but they are kind of limited because there are so many students applying for the courses. And if the registration opens like at 9 a.m., by 9:10, everything that you want is gone. So do make sure that when the registration opens that you're there and that you apply for the courses and plan in advance. So you can see the list of courses, like 2-3 semesters in advance. So for now, since we are in spring 2023, I can even see the courses for spring 2025. So definitely you can mail the professors that are taking the courses and ask them questions in advance so that you know that when the registration opens, you do apply for it then and there as well. But my experience has been really great so far. There are a lot of courses that were like really interesting. You do get to take courses out of department as well. So do try that out and make sure that you make the most of your experience here. Thank you.
Great, thank you, and good advice. Okay, Manish, would you like to talk about your experience and any advice you have?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. So I've come to UF in fall 21, and my experience at UF has just gotten better, like through each of the semesters. Initially, like UF adapted to the COVID having it online, but as the semesters progress, it just they got back to in-person classes and stuff, so it just got better. So as Delora mentioned, one of the most important things is to plan your semesters ahead. Unfortunately, people who have received admits like after the registrations have opened wouldn't have a chance this semester, but I think it's a good chance to like explore new courses. And you can also like pick courses from other departments as well if you're interested. So you'll be having like up to 6 credits, which you can choose like 2 courses outside CISE. And a bit more information about the course curriculum. So it's basically 4 core courses which you'd have to take, and the remaining are pretty much your choice and electives. So plan out your courses as properly as possible. And yeah, you can like follow whatever path you want to. Like there are multiple options, multiple courses which are in your choice of interest. There are more adding up each semester, and I think they're pretty well structured courses. So that's something I would say. And also I've seen one more thing I wanted to add, like I actually am working as a research assistant at the Department of Psychology. So I've seen a lot of questions in the Q&A session asking about the assistantship opportunities. So I would say initially you would have to complete a semester or two, to just like complete the courses and probably do well. And once you are deserving, you probably like could apply to TAs and assistantships in the courses you have completed. And also look out for opportunities like in OPS and research assistantships as well. So it's basically more of like there's obviously a luck factor in it, since like there are a lot of openings which you might not know about, but you just have to keep looking and hope that like one of them goes through. So that would be a part of advice I would be giving. So that's it from my end.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
That's great advice. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention Gauri. Gauri is also here from CISE department. Would you like to talk or share anything about your experience?
Yeah, sure. So I also joined UF in fall 2021. So everybody's talking about courses. I would also like to mention the vast number of opportunities that CIC department gives, like the GHC, the career fairs, and a lot of many opportunities which makes your career on a greater level. And even like every day a new email comes and says about, oh, here there is a webinar or this things is going on, and you could just interested if you could visit that, or you could just participate in it or just join it. And that's what I think what is different from any other departments, and which CIC promotes students to be on that top.
Okay,
Yeah.
great, thank you. So that department certainly has lots of students from India, but as I mentioned earlier and showed you the chart, we're really getting students across departments. And one of those is chemical engineering. So Sumant is here to chat with you, and then Shweta can talk after.
Hey, hello everyone. So for the chemical engineering master's program, we also require you to do 30 credits of graduate coursework. We do have a thesis option also, and in general, we encourage all of our students to do research because it gives them valuable practical experience. And we also focus a lot on practical training. We have a lab course which is dedicated for exposure to emerging areas of chemical manufacturing, things like semiconductor processing, pharmaceutical processing, and also other biological processes. And then along with that, we also focus on building a strong community of graduate students. We don't have the largest population of graduate students, but we make sure that they get opportunities to bond with each other, with the faculty. We have monthly barbecue events. We also have research symposia where graduate students are allowed to present their research work.
Okay, great. Shweta, are you there?
Yes. So hi, everyone. So chemical engineering department doesn't seem to be a bigger department, but yeah, it has a lot of opportunities in around here. And there are a lot of professors working on current developments and recent technologies which are coming up in the pharmaceutical and the semiconductor industry. So it'll be really great to connect with them, and you guys can also see it online on their websites, on our website in this chemical engineering department, what all projects we are going and working on. And yeah, it's a really competitive one for the whole, I think, the states. Few of the projects have come up, and it is one of its technology. So yeah, you can see the projects of the professors online, and you can connect with them if you're interested in any of their works. So yeah, that is one of the things. Yeah.
Okay, great. More great advice. So you're all applying for the master's degree. The master's degree, as you're hearing today, is primarily 4 semesters. There's a few students who may be able to finish in 3, but that's usually undergrads that are already here and started some work or similar programs. Most of the international is 4. There's 2 versions of this. There's the straight course-based, And then there's a research or thesis base for those that are considering staying on for their PhD. So if you're in the second track, you definitely want to discuss that with your department and plan from the beginning. We do have some students online today that are in the EDGE program. Not all of our departments offer EDGE, but about half or 2/3 of them do. EDGE is distance learning. So those students never move here to Gainesville or to our campus. I know most of the international students want to come here. That's certainly part of your experience, and you want to come to the United States. That one is a similar amount of time. It's similar classes. They film them live, so you can watch them live, the same content as the other students in person, or they're recorded if you're working, and you can watch them later that night, and they work out who proctors the exams to your locations. Okay, so let's move on with some more department updates, and we'll have Krista from Biomedical Engineering.
Hello again, everyone. So I just wanted to mention a few things about our department, what I think what makes it unique. One is, excuse me, the flexibility in the curriculum and tailoring it to what your specific interests are. As a master's student, you'll be required to complete a final project, and in our department, you can do this in a variety of ways. You can do academic research with one of our faculty or affiliates. You could do an internship. You could do a clinical immersion experience, since we are very closely tied to the College of Medicine here. Or you could do an in-depth literature review report, which oftentimes ends up being submitted for publication after the end of the semester that you finish it. I touched on a little bit that we are closely tied to the College of Medicine, and that's not just in research, but our geographical location on campus really lends itself to having close access to the physicians and clinicians here at UF Shands Hospital. And there's a lot of collaboration going on between our faculty and everyone at Shands Hospital. So I think that combined with our curriculum makes our program really unique. Thanks, Mike.
Okay, thank you, Krista. Well, you're a busy group today, all of you online. I just quickly glanced at the Q&A, and there's more than 200 questions that have already been asked, and the majority of them answered with our great group from UF here. So keep them going. We have more time. We will move on to Civil, Coastal, and Environmental Engineering. Paula would like to share a few items with you.
Yeah, of course. Hello, everyone. So our master's program is usually completed in about 12 months or more, depending on how many credits you want to take per semester, and that's something that you work with an appointed advisor. There are thesis and non-thesis and project options, but that's area specific, and if you are admitted, and when you are admitted, you receive that notice of what area you are in your letter. So that's something to keep in mind. And on our website, we do have an advising page specifically that details course plans for master's students. So please review that as you have time. Yeah, SE is a great department. Well, it's the only school right now in engineering, but we have the 2 departments, and we are working on creating more student events for involvement purposes and collaboration. Ever since COVID, we've had to kind of shut those down, but we're getting those started again for our students. We have recruitment events that we're setting up as well. And we see a lot of student involvement and faculty involvement with our students, and we always try to support our students during advising as well.
Great, thank you. So Christina was talking about the large volume of applications earlier. So here's the exact numbers. When I looked a couple days ago, I saw almost 4,200 master's applications. This is just across all of the engineering departments. If you want to talk university-wide with admissions, I'm sure we're over 50 or 70,000 plus. But we had almost 1,700 official admits as of 2 days ago. And then there's several other 100 that were invited to this because we're waiting on that final stages. So we are expecting several hundred more on top of that. So There is a large volume, so thank you for your patience. It does take time to process when we have this many thousands of applications. We are expecting between 800 and 1,000 new master's students for engineering and computer science in the fall. These have been the numbers that we've had, and we've been growing for the last few years. So we do have space for lots and lots of students here. Okay, we'll move on to another large department. Julissa Nunez is here to highlight a few areas, and then we have several electrical and computer engineering graduate students that we will have chat with you as well.
Hi, everyone. So I'll let the students talk a little bit more about the course side. I kind of wanted to highlight some of the things piggybacking off of what Christina was saying earlier. So our department is not as large as CISC, but so we do have a lot of our offers already out. So if you're under serious consideration and you have not received your offer yet, please feel free to email me, because there's two things that could be going on here. One, you're under final review with the Office of Admissions, and so you have nothing to worry about there. But the other thing is that you could be missing something from your application, something that wouldn't come up on the application checklist, like you're missing a letter of recommendation or something. So please feel free to email me, and I can let you know if you're missing anything so that we can move that along for you. The other thing I wanted to highlight is that as our acceptance deadline is approaching for our specific department, it's May 1st. Please don't only accept in the portal. Also email me your signed AA offer letter. The reason I say that is because I need to request your I-20, and I need to know if you're going to accept your AA if in order to request that. So please make sure that you're also doing that right away so that I can request your I-20 immediately. And then just one other thing that I wanted to touch on. I've had a few students specifically this year who do not want to accept the AA because they think it makes them ineligible to get an assistantship. That is not the case. What the clause in the letter is telling you is that you can't have both at the same time. So I would suggest, if you don't have a GA yet, accept the AA, because at the very least you can use it during your first semester. If you do end up obtaining an assistantship, then you can always drop the AA after that and accept the GA instead. So I just wanted to clarify that, but our students can tell you a little bit more about the actual program and courses, and let me know if you have any questions.
Great, more good advice. Okay, so Sandeep, why don't you start? You're a current master's student in ECE, talk about your experience or any advice, or even the courses like Julissa mentioned.
Yeah, so I started my master's in fall 2021, and I did both the concentrations, computer engineering and machine learning. I even got a technical job in second semester, and that job converted to research assistant work. And I did my master's with thesis option, so my tuition fee was waived off for third and fourth semester. So I would say that UF has really good research opportunities. You just need to ask professors, check their website, and see if it is relevant to your dream job. And also, like as I said, like UF has really good opportunities, and you can ask me particularly if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you. Chatya, would you like to talk for a little bit with the prospects?
Yeah, so I have joined UF in fall 21 in EC department. And as Sandeep mentioned about the RA, even if you don't get a RA, you can still mail professor asking about the volunteer work, and any professor will be happy to help you in that. Also, regarding the courses, there are many courses which require prerequisite to be completed. But if you are still interested in pursuing that course, again, you have to mail your professor and ask them or show them the proof of concept or the transcript that you have already learned this. And they might ask you a few questions regarding the field. And if you are able to answer it correctly, they might help you, to attend the class without completing the prereq. That was the one thing that I want to share. So don't hesitate to reach out to any professor if you see any prereq in the courses.
Okay, thank you. Kartiki, some words of wisdom from you?
So yes, I'm Kartikeya, and I'm in my final semester of grad program in the EC department. Like Chaitya mentioned, there are a lot of courses in the EC department, and there is a EC graduate handbook, which has a list of all these courses and what domains they lie in. And I would actually suggest the students to go through these before they pick their courses, so that they have an idea about like what direction to go in. And apart from that, I believe like most of the students have questions about part-times. So there is the UF Jobs website, which has most of the listings for the part-times. Apart from that, there are other dining jobs available, which is on the Chartbus website. They have jobs posted up there, and anyone interested could apply for them, and they can hear back from there.
And he also forgot to mention how dedicated he is. He's riding in a car or something, but he still wants to make sure that he gets to chat with you because he wants you to come here to UF. So thank you.
I'm sorry about that.
No, I'm happy to have you do that. You're not the only one who's done that too, by the way. That's great. Sajid, we'll have you chat here in a minute because you have your slides for IGSA. So we will move on to industrial and systems engineering, and Jordan is here to chat with you. And then I thought I saw Akriti made it, and so you can chat after that.
All right. Well, hi everyone again. I'll just kind of quickly, I just wanted to call attention to the 4 concentrations available within our department. For our master's program, we have concentrations in data analytics, human systems engineering, operations research, and production and service operations. Also, I wanted to mention on our website, we also have a page with listings of scholarships and awards available to students within our department. So if you are still looking at obtaining funding and lining that up, I would recommend taking a look at that.
Great, thank you. Okay, Akriti, if you'd like to talk about your experience or anything else you feel would be important for these prospects when making their final decision for their master's program.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm in my last semester in Industrial and Systems Engineering. I am a red student, so I haven't visited the UF campus till now. So I'm currently working, but also pursuing this master's. The one suggestion I would like to give to everyone who is pursuing, irrespective of the course, is that please be in contact with your graduate advisors throughout your course. It will not only help you plan all your semesters or all your courses that you want to do, and even if you want to focus on certain areas, it will help. These being in contact with your graduate advisors really helps you to make your career what you really want to be. And if you want to focus on certain electives, it will really help you plan that. And also a lot of courses are only offered in certain semesters like fall, and a lot of courses are only offered in summer or spring. So being in touch with the graduate advisors would really help you understand what courses are available for each of these semesters and can help you plan your 3 or 4 semesters that you plan to do for the course.
Okay, great. That's good advice. Thank you. So someone was talking earlier about the acceptance deadline and the way you accept. So a couple things going on. April 15th is the acceptance deadline for masters, but that is often extended to May 1 or May 15th, especially for students that are admitted later or still waiting for official admission. You will always have at least 2 weeks. So do be sure to accept online. That allows us and many, many offices across the University of Florida campus to know, so they know to provide you information on certain areas, or anything from parking to international, et cetera, on our campus, or to stop providing you information because you've officially declined. But you do also want to do that in email or the other signed. And the best person to do that with is always the graduate staff in the department. So there's 2 things that you need to do for that. Okay, we have 2 final department updates, and then we're going to talk about some other areas that don't have to do with academics, other important things like your career and housing and student life. So let's go on to mechanical and aerospace engineering. Megan is here, and then Prasan is a graduate student. He can talk after.
Hi, yes. Just based on some questions, I'm seeing a lot of students still waiting to hear from their departments. Sometimes we have no control over where your application is in the Office of Admissions, so please just keep that in mind. If you haven't heard from us, it could be that we are waiting for your application to be finished processed. So just be patient, please. So one of the things I like to talk about with our department is simply our social aspect of our graduate students. They get along really well. We have a very active graduate student council. They meet for activities at least once or twice a month. There's always a coffee hour. They go bowling a lot. There's a lot of camaraderie in our department. So when you come here, you can look forward to having a lot of positive experiences with your peers. If you have any other questions, just send me an email. We are really excited to have you.
Thank you. Prasan, would you like to share some of your thoughts about your department or others?
Sure. My experience at MAE was absolutely amazing. One advice I'd give to people is, as someone mentioned earlier, always stay updated with the grad advisor on the requirements of the course and the degree completion. And in terms of research opportunities, there are like a lot of opportunities going on right now, and there's like groundbreaking research going on in MAE department at the moment. Just try to connect with professors, have a talk with them. We have MAE socials pretty much every month. There's bowling, there's coffee hours. Just try to reach out to current PhD students and the professors and learn about the opportunities. And I believe that's an amazing way to get into research. Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Great. And our final, the MSc department, Tahara.
Hello. Kind of backing on what other people have said. Our department offers a lot of research collaborations between other engineering departments, and students do have the opportunity to tailor our program to their interests. So it could be getting involved in internship for credit, research for credit, taking coursework outside of the department as electives. And so that's something that students are able to do within our program. Program requires 30 credit hours. Students normally will complete the program in a year and a half. And I'll also add, I see that some students had questions about registration, seat availability, and things of that sort. It really depends on the department. So definitely, if you have specific questions like that, make sure that you put the department that you're referring to in your questions, or reach out to them directly after the close of this webinar.
Okay, thank you. So cost is something everyone's always very interested in. So we're proud that our tuition is one of the most economical in the entire United States. And that's both for international students, students from other states, so those paying non-Florida resident tuition, as well as in-state. We're at that same level. So this shows the 10 schools that are ranked of the top 10 public institutions where we're number 5. But we are actually number 1 if you look at the tuition. So that is just, we can offer an outstanding product and still keep it economical. And then if you look at the city like Gainesville, we have a tremendously good cost of living versus these other cities as well. So we think these are 2 other large and important factors for those of you still considering which school to pick for your master's enrollment. So the funding that we do have available is the Academic Achievement Award. That's the $4,500 off tuition. It will be $1,500 off each of your first 3 semesters of tuition. Couple things with that. Christina mentioned if you applied for College of Liberal Arts and Sciences for CS, that needs to be switched to CISE. Otherwise, you would not be eligible for this, and she's already working on that for you. So that's great. You can stay in touch with her. Julissa mentioned some of you thought that maybe you would pass on this award because you want a larger award for a research assistantship or teaching assistantship. So do not pass on this award. Nobody should ever pass on this award. You accept this award if you're given it. And at any time, if you get the higher level award for the assistantship, then we can replace it and swap it out. So you take this now, and then for those of you that get that later, it can be switched. This is guaranteed. There's no limits. Every student who is admitted to the master's degree and is a non-Florida resident from another state or another country and comes to Florida will get this. We do not have a limit on how many we can give this to. So you would be able to count on that. If you were in the EDGE, the online studies, you would not receive this because EDGE is a discounted tuition rate. In some cases, half the tuition. So we couldn't take this additional award off that. So we're going to talk about careers, and then I'm going to let some of the departments have individual careers talk, and then we'll pick maybe 2 students. So if 2 of our graduate students have had good experience with these or a lot of experience with these, then you can chime in. So we have one of the largest career fairs in the entire Southeast of the United States of America, more than 500 companies. Actually, I think that's 600 now. That's a picture of our basketball arena. It's so big, they all come and have booths that we have to host in the basketball arena. And they come from all over, and they have one goal in mind. The company representatives are looking to hire our current students or provide internships for our current students. And you're talking at all levels, for the bachelor's degree students, for the master's degree students, and for the PhD students. So this is offered for a couple days in the fall term and a couple days in the spring term. But then these companies come year round. Every single week of the year, the Career Center is located in two parts of 2 floors in our student union. They come there to meet with students. So this is very important because I know this is very important to you. It's important that you get a good quality degree and academic experience, but that also you receive assistance for job prospects and internship prospects. But we don't just do this at the university level, we also do this at the department level. So I'll let a couple departments talk now about what they do in addition for their students. Krista?
She had to leave early. She had a meeting right at 10:30.
Oh, okay. All right. So these are some of the things that our biomedical engineering department offers for their own students. And again, these slides and recordings, as I emailed everybody, will be available tomorrow morning for all of you. CISE has another large event. Christina?
Hi, yeah, so we do our career showcase, and it has become massive. We had this last time, we have it at the O-Dome. What is it called, Mike? It's not called the O-Dome anymore.
The Exactech Arena now.
Okay, I don't even know that, but anyway, I just say go to the O-Dome. But that's where the career showcase is held now. We've gotten so large. We had over 50 companies that came. This year we have our career workshop, our showcase. It's going to be on September 18th. So I'll start emailing you guys once you're here, of course. I allow about 2 weeks for you to get acclimated to your schedule and switching and stuff like that. And then I'll reach out to everybody saying, hey, this is what's going on. Make sure you register for it. We have a massive attendance turnout student-wise as well. We'll need volunteers to help me with this because it's so big. So make sure when I send something out, make sure that you register and make sure that you attend, even though you're not eligible for an internship quite yet. It's still important to get your feet in the door, maybe talk with some companies, get a feel of what they need and what it's going to be like. And then when you get ready to actually be eligible for the internship, then you'll have a little bit of insight on what to do and what to plan for. So this is a great opportunity that we offer our students. Thanks.
Does one
Mike.
of the CISE students online want to talk about this event? Manish, Delora, or Gauri, do any of you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, I would like to talk about this one since I got my internship through career fair, and it's really important to visit all these career fairs and just talk to people. Even if you don't get any offer, it's very important to know how you're talking to people and what opportunities or what they are looking into you, so you could improve and update as well. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Okay, Essie has some additional assistance.
Yes, we also have a career fair called Evening with Industry. We have it every fall and spring. Last year was one of our biggest ones. We had about 80 companies come, and these are some of them that are listed here. It's also a great opportunity, like the students were saying, for you to just come and even get your foot in the door and just talk to these companies and get acquainted with them. We also look for volunteers as well, so you can get involved in that way and you put that on your resume. And we're growing every year, so more companies will come and we'll always need more volunteers.
Our industrial and systems engineering department has some extra efforts for you as well.
Yes, everyone. So yes, we have our ISE career fair that we hold during the fall semester. We do have, we kind of hold it in two parts. There's in person, and then we also have a virtual component to it. So the students in our ISE master's program through EDGE are also able to participate. And usually we have a few dozen employers come and attend. So our students, kind of as referenced by some of the other advisors and panelists, you know, this is a primary way that our students obtain internships and job opportunities and things of that nature.
Okay, great. Is there one more of our current graduate students that would like to talk anything about career aspirations, assistance here, internships from Florida?
So in terms of mechanical engineering, we don't have a dedicated mechanical engineering career fair. It's usually under an engineering career fair, but there will be a lot of mechanical companies, and it is really, really important that you talk to each and every one of them. That is exactly how I got my internship at the moment. Have a really good one-liners, give a really good pitching statements, and that is a good way to get any potential offers. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Great, thank you. So you will see that we really have this extended effort here at Florida because we all deeply care about your career aspirations and once you complete your degree, where you will go with that. So we put a lot of energy, effort, and funds into making that happen for you. So I'm happy that Sajid is here today. He was just elected president for this next year of Indian Graduate Student Association, University of Florida, and he has a couple slides to talk about everything that they do for their community.
Thank you, Mike. Hi, everyone. So firstly, congrats on all the admits and all the best if you're waiting for admits. Good luck with that. So I'm here to represent IGSA, and also I'm a grad student at EC. So I played, I'm wearing the hats of both, two hats today. So primarily what IGSA, so we are a registered student organization at the University of Florida, primarily for the, catering the needs of graduate student, Indian graduate student at the university level. So we kind of, act as a medium between students and university in case if it's needed, or, help them with help or guide them with any resources, or, to do items, or, people reach out to anything goes south. We also actually, we would be kind of, also act as a bridge if anything emergency is required in terms of Indian students. So we had a couple of unwanted issues or unfortunate incidents happening in last few semesters. So we kind of act as a medium primarily between UFIC or student offices or any other entities within the US. So and also along with that, we do a lot to help incoming students, primarily incoming students, where we have a dedicated WhatsApp community with over 1,200 Indian students, Indian students from all the departments, all the majors, all the degree levels under one platform. It's easy for us to communicate, share any information, pass on any kind of information or any kind of message to all the people. And we even do some fun activities. You can see a couple of pictures on that. We have cricket tournaments, friendly cricket tournaments. We have Diwali events, which last for around 3 to 4 hours for a night. And then a couple of pictures from there. And then we even collaborate with other one more Indian organizations, and we do Holi, pretty much a grand Holi on campus. Where you play with actual colors, all that. My next slide, please. So a couple of things which IGSA does is, we kind of cater the needs of students, and for the incoming students, we have dedicated WhatsApp groups with all the volunteers from every department to help you answer any questions related to your department specific academics or, anything in terms of tuition, housing, banking, accommodation. We do conduct webinars, one webinar for fall and one webinar for spring in around May, June or July, so that once you have finalized the admits, you are good to go with when you're preparing your bags to come to UF. So we do a final webinar, to make sure that you guys are well prepared and aware of everything you need to do, a checklist kind of thing, so that your transit becomes much easier, from India or anywhere from outside US to UF. So that's what we do, and even do help with pickups, temporary accommodation for the initial days in case we need a couple of days to settle before your lease kicks in, or you don't have an accommodation, all that things. And we also maintain a Indian community within the Gainesville. And yeah, the good big slide many people are asking. So here are a couple of links for the WhatsApp groups we created for IGSA. This would be official IGSA groups. So all the official communication from IGSA would go through this WhatsApp group. So please pop up your camera and then scan and get into your groups as soon as possible. And then we'll be even adding volunteers today, so that we could get started with all the help you guys needed. And the link in that also is a guidebook, which was created by one of our alumni who's working right now with Microsoft. It's a end-to-end holistic guidebook, all the starting from when you apply to application all the way till you graduate. It does every details, few reviews about the courses that alumni took, and again, he's from CISA department. So a great book to get started from, plenty of resources which could be combined into one PDF. And yeah, so if you have any questions, queries, just shoot me an email, or you can drop me a text on WhatsApp, or group links which we have mentioned on the slide here. So looking forward to meet you all. All the best for your transit from India or anywhere to US.
Thank you so much, Sajid. So you can see that we have this great community of students from India and international students here in the college, but this also spans across the university, because there are students in other colleges as well. So, okay, so we're going to shift some focus over now to some other areas of graduate student life, and Ashley is going to go over a few slides with you.
Hi, I am a Gainesville, Florida resident. So I've been here my whole life, and I know quite a bit about the city and some of the areas around it. Part of our graduate student life, we do have our engineering graduate student council, which is a big part of our group, and they set up all different kinds of events, such as in January, we had a bowling event, social events, things for everybody to get together. I believe Tuesday they also did like a beach volleyball event. There's also, Gainesville is definitely known for its restaurants. We have all kinds of places to eat, whether you're over in Butler Plaza or Midtown or right around campus. There's lots of different types of places to eat. We also have all kinds of areas within the city to go out and do things, but as well as the outlying cities, High Springs, Denellen, they're all within a 30-minute drive of different springs that you can tube down, kayak. There's also camping, lots of different outdoor adventures. We also have Bo Diddley Plaza, which is probably a mile from campus, where they do lots of live concerts throughout the year, and you can find schedules for that online. Next slide. UF on-campus housing. So we've provided a link for some of the housing options on campus. Most of our Indian students, when they come in, they go to Tanglewood Village, Corey Village, or Diamond Village. Do any of the current students want to touch on the housing or where they live on campus, such as like Sweta, Sandip? Anyone?
Yeah, I would like to take over. So for Indian graduate students or Indian community, they majorly share a vast living experience in Stone Ridge apartments, in Niche, Nook, and the Greenwich Green apartments. And apart from that, also there are a lot of other communities, apartments. For example, Brandywine Apartments and Country Village is one of them, and University Commons. So yeah, those are very good places to stay, and you'll get to see a lot of Indian students. So that will also make you feel like home.
Great, thank you. Does anybody else want to touch on the living environment here?
Yes, I can actually. Sorry, Sajid, go ahead.
Yeah, so just a couple of lines to add on what Shweta mentioned. So primarily, as mentioned, majority of Indian population resides in Stonebridge niche, which is now Gainesville or Gainesville Boulevard or GNB Boulevard, and then Nook, which is now centric along those 34th Street or 37 Boulevard Road, because it's kind of more, you get more accessibility and feasible to groceries at the same time Indian store, and then you get a majority of Indian community living around that because of the flexibility of transit, transportation from there to campus. You have almost a bus for every, I would say, 15 to 20 minutes running from that Indian community place to campus, Rights Union, and then around on weekdays, and then even on weekends you have a bus for once 30 minutes, I would say. So yeah, that's a kind of you could say a strategic location which I guess our alumni have preferred out or figured out, where you get more accessibility to everything at a, but while not compromising the community and area.
Great, thank you. Delora, did you have something to say?
Yes, I just wanted to add on like the bus system. So the bus system is free for all UF students, so you don't have to worry about that. And it's honestly really great. Like you can get into like most places of Gainesville. And even if you're not like, even if when we had to go to the SSN office, the bus took us till like almost till there. So don't worry about that. And yes, the Nish Stonebridge area is a really good area because there's like the Indian Mart there. There's also a Publix for like other stuff that you want to get. And there are like 3 bus routes on the same lane. So yeah, it's pretty great.
Great, thank you for that. So to touch on some of the stuff more UF centered, we currently, our gymnastics team is number 2 and they're heading to the NCAA championship. We also have our Ben Hill Griffin Stadium where our football team plays. That's a big part of UF life. Many of the students on campus go to the games. And then we also have UF intramural sports, which I have a link in the slideshow for you. This is kind of any students that want to play sports on campus, get together, different groups like that. Do any of our current students online, are any of you a part of any of those sports that you want to speak about?
Oh yeah, the basketball team at UF is pretty good, and the baseball as well. I've been to a couple of games. They're honestly one of the most amazing sports I've ever seen. So, and for UF students, it is free. Basketball and baseball games are free. Anything apart from American football, you're pretty much free to go. So.
Cool, thank you. Next slide, please. So Gainesville, Florida. Our current population here is 130,128. Typically, the weather's pretty nice here. It's usually in the mid 80s, sometimes 90s, and typically our cool climates don't really get below 32 very often. UF's pretty central in the state, so you have lots of areas that you can make it over to. Both coasts are within driving distance. St. Augustine Beach is a great place where lots of students like to adventure, and they also have historic downtown where you can see forts, lots of shopping as well. Also close to Tampa and Orlando, within 2 hours, which Orlando is where we have all our theme parks, such as Disney, Universal, which are great day trips. And Jacksonville has a lot of shopping as well. And new rankings is Gainesville ranks number 2 on the Forbes list, top 10 best places to live in Gainesville, and it also ranks number 4 on WalletHub's 23 best college towns in America. Did any of the current students want to talk about some of their life experience, like around Gainesville or just in the state of Florida, some adventures that are outside of college?
I could take that. Martin, I see you raise and you want to talk something. I could wait. Okay. So yeah, pretty much, Gainesville, again, Florida itself is a beach party place. I mean, in a good way party place, and plenty of beaches around. Everything, major cities like Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville is like around 1.5 hour drive from Gainesville, a car drive, or 2 hour bus drive from Gainesville. You see plenty of places to visit like Universal, Busch Gardens, many other fun places. And then we have plenty of springs. We have a couple of lakes owned by UF within the campus and one outside the campus. Yeah, just seeing Disney World, Universal, beaches, Lake Warburg, which is kind of owned by UF, and then a small lake within campus, Lake Alice. You have Gainesville downtown, which is a very much happening place on the weekends, Friday night and Saturday, and then every downtown in Florida, it's a happening place. Again, Miami is in Florida.
Thank you. Did anybody want to talk about nightlife in Gainesville at all? Does anybody have any experiences with the nightlife here? We do have a large variety of areas to go out during the weekends, to some social life, different areas.
Yeah, there's pretty much events going on in and around the city with regards to nightlife. But I would say just be safe around Gainesville when you're out in the night. Just be with a group. Don't go alone at night, especially around in Saturdays and Sundays. And yeah, it's pretty good. There are a lot of good places in Gainesville if you want to enjoy nightlife.
Thank you. Next slide, please.
Okay, so we've gone almost the full 90 minutes. This was the link that I sent everybody yesterday. This is where all the slides and the recordings will be posted tomorrow. So you will have access to all of those. But what I also want you to have is all of the contact information. So not only can you get a hold of me and Ashley, but again, these are all of the graduate staff in each departments that you've been chatting with today and even before today with your applications and answering your questions. But it's also many of the current students from India here at UF want to reach out to you. Many more than were on this as panelists today. So I asked a bunch of them last fall if you'd like to help out with recruiting the next students that come through. And all of these students signed up. They all want to help you across all of our departments to become the next Florida Gator. So they've all said they'll either be online helping or you can share my information with the students. So all of this is on these slides that will be available for you starting tomorrow. So feel free to reach out to any of them and they can answer any last minute or remaining questions that you have. So our time is just about up. I'll ask Ashley if there's any final questions that maybe we can answer in front of the whole group now. Although when I looked a second time, we were over 300 or 400 questions that have been answered today by everyone. So I know a lot of information has been shared. Is there any final ones, Ashley, that we should touch on for everybody?
Martine said that she had a question she wanted to address out loud.
Sure, go ahead, Martine.
Thank you so much. One of the common questions I'm seeing is how long will it take to get my I-20? So once you confirm your admission, your department needs to submit the I-20 request, and then we tend to send the email with the instructions for logging in to complete the application within 2 weeks, oftentimes sooner, but it also depends on, for example, engineering is one of our biggest colleges. So we might get 300 requests from engineering, so that can affect and take a little bit more time. So the sooner you submit you accept your admission, the sooner they'll be able to put in your request, and hopefully we're able to get you that email within 2 weeks. The email will go to your personal or your Gator link, check the inbox and the spam. And then the time from us sending you the instructions to you completing your application is up to you. And then once you complete and submit it, that time frame is, we ask that you allow us 2 to 3 weeks on average. We try again to get it out much sooner, but if we have, usually we have about 1,500 students who are coming to UF who confirm they're coming. If 1,000 of them submit at the exact same time, you can see how that takes a little bit more time. But we tend to get them out within about a 3-week time frame. And then once you have your I-20, you're able to complete your DS-160, submit it, secure your visa appointment. The visa appointment itself You might have an approval within 3 days, you might have an approval within 90 days. So that can take some time. Then once your visa is secured, you're able to make your flight arrangements and come to the US. You need to come before the start of classes, and by no later than drop add, all of your holds need to be removed before the start of classes so that you can get registered for the fall semester before the end of drop add. If your visa is not secured, if you're not able to come in before the end of drop add, then you'll need to communicate with your department about a deferral for a future semester. You may have heard from friends about late arrivals. Those late arrivals in the last 2.5 years or so have been because of the COVID accommodations. USCIS, SEVP, the governing body, has stated that COVID accommodations will not be continuing. So all students must plan to be in the US, checked in, registered full-time before the end of drop add. And drop add is basically the first 5 days of the fall or spring semester. Okay. And then another common question was, do I need to submit my proof of funds in order to apply for my I-20? Yes, you are required to show full proof of funds as part of your I-20 application, or else we're not able to issue the I-20. All right, thank you.
Okay, great. Any other final questions? We only have time for maybe one more.
Manish said he wanted to address a common question that was asked.
Okay, go ahead, Manish.
Yeah, so one of the questions I've seen is regarding the immunization forms, which is a hold on the accounts of OneUF. So the question is like, when do I have to complete them in order to like remove the hold? So I think right as of now, the primary step you would want to do is to email and ask for a waiver for the immunization form so that you can register for courses and complete the immunization form as soon as possible once you register for courses. I think there's no specific deadline to it, but since the entire process could like take up to like 3 to 4 weeks, which was the same in my case, I would advise you to probably finish it like before you arrive here so that you don't have any holds while you are at UF. So there's no strict deadline, but I would advise you to like finish it as soon as possible. Yeah.
Okay, more great advice, and the final piece of advice for today's webinar. So thank you all for attending. We know you're all outstanding and talented students and that you have a lot of options. There's many schools you've applied to, and all of them would be very happy for you to come and enroll there. But we feel University of Florida certainly deserves to be among the top of your list. We have a great quality product in academics and help students with their careers. We have a great India community here as well as from other countries. And as you can see from the students, our students who shared with you today, they're all very happy and honest about their experience, and we have a good community. So keep that in mind when you're making your final decision. And if you have any last questions, you have lots and lots of people to continue to reach out to who will get back with you. So that's it for today, and we wish you well. And of course, we hope to see all of you here as a Florida Gator in the fall. So take care.
Bye.